intensive treatment.
Welcome back. Now you've never been on the show.
So, welcome back. You've never been on the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Intensive Treatment, your number one spot for all things ham.
Yeah, Ham Aslam.
Sam. Ham, yes. I was about to say Sam Haslam, but it's like, who's that? Sam. So today we're gonna talk about a topic which I'm surprised we didn't think of sooner, because there's a whole bunch of them out there. Arkham clones, or in other words, games that have been heavily inspired by the Arkham franchise.
There's a lot of them, guys.
There is a number of them. It's funny because, like, around, I want to say this was like 2000, after 2009 or 2011, when, Arkham was in its, high point, there were a number of video games that tried to kind of take elements from those and do it in a way that would not seem like it's stealing, but it's pretty much stealing. So, which ones do you want to start with?
I want to start with one of the less obvious ones. I think I want to start with Captain America, not because it's not an obvious game, but because people don't really talk about that game.
Okay.
Except maybe Marvel DC fan very soon on his YouTube channel. We'll see.
Yeah, funny. Yeah.
What was your introduction to this game, and how quickly were you like, oh my god, this is an Arkham game?
Well, it's funny because I haven't played it for myself yet, but I've seen like tons of gameplay on this from other YouTube channels and stuff like that. But I remember just back, because this was 2011 when this game came out.
Right.
Just seeing like how he fought and, the kind of moves that were on display. And I was just looking at it being like, yeah, it's a fucking Arkham game. It's just like, there's no doubt about it. It's the thing with these games is that they try to like do things that like are like slightly different from Arkham. And in other cases, which we'll get to, is just a blatant carbon copy. But the thing about Captain America is that he has the shield, that big frisbee that he carries around. He can block attacks and stuff like that. And but yeah, in all essence, it's just
like
pretty much it's basically just the same. Like, it's the same combat in general.
Yeah.
You have your punches, you have your counters, evade. It's all the elements are there. So
yeah.
But from what I hear, it's not a bad game.
Yeah, I've never played it. I have seen some gameplay of it, but it looks exactly like Arkham.
He's just waiting for my video to come out.
I am.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Rosie, shut up, my dog. I will cut that out, guys. So one that I wanted to talk about that I also don't see a lot of people talk about is, it's not necessarily for the free roam or the gameplay, but for the combat. Sleeping Dogs is a direct ripoff of Arkham. And I'm a big Sleeping Dogs fan. I don't know have you ever played Sleeping Dogs?
I know Sleeping Dogs. I've never played Sleeping Dogs, but it's one of those games on my list anyway to play at some point.
Yeah. Well, when I first played it, loved it, still love it. But there was always something nitpicking me, and it was the damn combat. I was like, it's like that scene from Spider-Man 3. It looks familiar. And I'm thinking to myself, this is Batman Arkham City. Okay. Combat is so similar. I mean, it's basically the same exact free flow. Or at least a variation of that free flow. I feel like that's what most of the games try to do. They wanted to sort of inch themselves away, but not super far from Arkham, so that people could think it was their own, but in reality, they changed like one thing. And Sleeping Dogs was no exception. Combat is so close. I'm pretty sure you have like a special move, so you tap 2 buttons and you do like a combo move. Super copped. And if you guys can watch some gameplay of some combat, you tell me.
I'm literally looking at it right now, and I'm like, yeah, that's Batman.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell?
He's even in spandex too, which makes this funny.
Oh, is he in the yellow suit?
He's
Oh
in the
my
yellow
God.
suit.
Bruce Lee, baby. Yeah, so that's my second one. What about you? What's another one that you want to talk about?
It's a game that I haven't played personally myself, but I've heard things about. Mad Max.
Yes, I've heard this too. I've never played it either.
I think Alter's played it, and he basically, like, every time we've talked about him about the Mad Max game, he's just like, yeah, it's just Arkham. It's literally just Arkham Knight. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool.
What year did Mad Max come out? It was after Arkham Knight?
I think it was like right after, because I remember Arkham Knight coming out, and then maybe like a month or two later, seeing gameplay for Mad Max, which I don't know. It was never like anything mind blowing, which is probably
Okay.
why for a
It was
long
released
time.
2 months later.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking it couldn't have been that long after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Mad Max. At some point, I gotta play that game.
It's a really beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
remember when it came out, nobody talked about it. Like there was maybe like some outlets being like, "Oh yeah, the Mad Max game is a thing," and then dead silence.
Yeah. First by Fury Road.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. Did Fury Road come out? What 2015, 2014,
Yeah.
something like that?
I
Yeah.
think it came out that year.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Riding on the coattails of that popularity. And speaking of Mad Max, there's a Furiosa movie coming out this year.
That is true.
Yeah.
Are you a Mad fan at all?
I like Mad Max. I love Fury Road. That movie's incredible. And I've seen like the older Mad Max movies, and those are good too. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty
Yeah.
underrated franchise, all things considered.
I agree. And yeah, so Mad Max the game though kind of cursed with Arkham wannabe isms.
You wannabeisms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can drive around in that game, can't you? And it's basically just the Batmobile without the tank stuff.
Yeah, they got that on Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's another one. Is there another one you want to talk about?
Middle Earth?
Yeah, that's on here.
Yeah.
It's sort of next up.
Never
Have
played
you-
these.
I haven't either. A lot of these I haven't basically all these I haven't played. Which is a shame because wow, I just looked up Middle Earth and it legitimately showed me a map of like the old Middle Earth map.
Mm-hmm.
What the frick? Okay, Middle Earth game. Oh yeah. Arkham Hello.
Yeah, this is another game. This is another duo of games that I have to play at some point. I gotta play it before Wonder Woman comes out. Just so I know what I'm getting into, because I feel like a lot of what Middle Earth did is just going to be moved over to Wonder Woman.
Really?
I mean, it's made by the same people, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was the course of action.
It's true.
Speaking of Batman, did you know that before it was a Middle Earth game, it was a Dark Knight game?
I did not know that.
So yeah,
I knew there was a Dark Knight game that got like canceled, but
Yeah.
I didn't know it was connected to Middle Earth at all.
Yeah, Monolith was working on a Batman game set in the Nolan verse, and just recently a full like leaked thing about its gameplay and whatnot came out. It was going to have the Nemesis system before they implemented it into Middle Earth.
Wow.
It's actually kind of cool.
That is really cool.
I forget
know-
though if this was after Asylum came out. I want to say so because like it might have been a tie-in to like Dark Knight Rises and stuff, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Me-
it's a neat little tidbit about the state of like certain franchises and what they were and what they would turn out to be. So
Well, this one, just looking at this gameplay, it's super Arkham influenced. Yeah. And it actually looks really good for a Wonder Woman game now that I'm watching this.
mm.
But yeah. There was another one I wanted to talk about as well. Unless there's something you want to add to Middle Earth before we move on.
No.
So, one I wanted to talk about is one that you may not expect because it's one of my favorite game franchises ever. Assassin's Creed, I believe, definitely took heavy inspiration from the Arkham games. I mean, post Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say because there's a couple of games on this list. Like it says Unity is one of them, and then also Syndicate.
Definitely Syndicate. Syndicate, very much so. Yeah. But the ones I want to focus on are Assassin's Creed 3, mainly, and Syndicate. Yeah. Unity definitely has it, but it's so damn ingrained in Syndicate. It's actually annoying. Like they ruined the combat in that game. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So damn repetitive, and it's like obviously Arkham's repetitive, but Arkham is so fun. Like, it never gets old doing that combat because it's so good. But then you're playing like a cheap copy that doesn't even do it nearly as good, and yeah, just didn't hit good at all. But I think the inkling of that started in actually Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, because they implemented this sort of free flow system of movement where the other previous ones 1 and 2 didn't have. So if you're it's almost like a combo build up without a combo.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get more than one enemy in a row, then you sort of go into this flow of combat where every time you click X or square, whatever you're playing, you just go over to another enemy and automatically kill them. Whereas in 2 that didn't exist, 1 it didn't exist. So you're kind of like gracefully flowing around these characters, just popping one off at a time. And it definitely feels like free flow from Arkham City. I do think that Brotherhood came out before Arkham City. But in this case, I mean, free flow combat was already a thing in Asylum, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can sort of see how everything was kind of leading towards City, in my opinion. I think everybody in the gaming world knows about everybody else's stuff to an extent. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just dummy. I am anyway. So yeah. But yeah, Assassin's Creed. Especially it's coming from a diehard, guys. I'm telling you guys.
So there was a couple other things I was gonna bring up, but for me though they don't necessarily fit into that category.
Really?
Like they on this list it has Ghost of Tsushima, which from what I've seen, I wouldn't really put it in that kind of Arkham category.
Have you played it or no?
I really want to, but I've
Okay.
I've seen one of my friends play it. He's like a diehard Tsushima player. Like he has the game
Yeah.
100%. Like he went nuts on that, and but I remember I was at his house one time. We were messing around with it, and I could just see for myself. It's just like, yeah, it's not really it wouldn't feel like it was like kind of Arkham-ish.
No, it doesn't. But I do think that there's sort of inklings. I've played it as well, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there can be sort of a Arkham vibe to it,
Hmm.
but I also think that's with like everything now. Like we were saying earlier, like everything was influenced by it to some degree, and some are more than others, obviously. But Tsushima seems like it's on the further end of not being so influenced by it.
What was that game that came out recently called Rise of Ronin or something like that?
Yeah.
Um, that game is more of an Arkham game than fucking Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
That made me laugh so hard when we were watching the it was like the state of play for that game.
Mhm.
And he's literally just like grappling around, gliding. He
I know
calls
that
the
was really
horse like the
funny.
Batmobile. I was like, that's
Guys, if you
hilarious.
haven't seen that, go check that video out on his channel. It was so funny.
Yeah,
The live reactions were great. You're like, what is this, Arkham in Japan?
literally. As soon as he pulled the wings out, I'm like, oh my god, it's literally Arkham.
Didn't I say something like, this is Bruce Wayne's origin story or something like that?
Bruce Wayne's like ancestors or something.
Yeah. That was really funny.
Damn.
But yeah, so that's another one. That's definitely a rip-off. That's like a blatant rip-off of
Yeah.
Arkham. That's crazy.
There's another game on here called Hand of Fate, which I know nothing about.
Me neither. I've never heard of it
So
either.
we're just gonna skip past that one.
We're gonna skip that.
Also, I was thinking, you ever played that game Sifu or Shifu, whatever?
No.
No?
I've heard.
Yeah. I've seen gameplay of it. It's a really fun, like, martial arts type game. But
Mhm.
the more I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, no, it's a little bit of like Arkham in there, but not totally. Um, so I guess we should get to what I think is the biggest blatant ripoff of these games. And
Uh-oh.
coincidentally enough, it's another superhero game or games, I guess
Yeah.
you could say.
Here we go. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. No, I'm just kidding.
um the Amazing games, Amazing 1 and 2
Yeah.
are just without question Arkham Light.
Yeah. It's
Lit-
like,
lit- it's so blatant. It's kind of laughable when you really see it in action.
yeah, it is. I mean, even up to the point of the whole, at that time it was relatively new, the lightning bolts above the head
Mhm.
as a counter thing, at least in that context, and right down to that. Oh, I can counter with this button, and I can beat the crap out of somebody with this button, and I
Yeah.
can jump, and I can do. It's almost like Batman's stun with the webs.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, this is basically, I'm playing Batman. I don't need to buy Batman. I have it right here. It's like Dollar General. It's like great value Arkham City from Marvel.
No, you know what it is? It's
What?
it's the kids being like, "Can we get Arkham?" And the parents being like, "No, you have Arkham at home," and it's just it's the Amazing
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, both games were so ripped off.
Yeah. Not even just by like combat, but even stealth too. The stealth is basically the same.
Oh god,
Like
yeah.
you're doing silent takedowns and all this
Yep.
other shit. It's just like, okay, like we don't have any creativity, so we're just gonna just pivot off of what's popular. And
Yeah.
of course it's
Popular.
Batman.
Yeah. There you go, guys. Batman is better than Spider-Man. You
Yeah.
didn't hear from me. No. Yeah, and it's a shame too, looking back, because when I was younger, I didn't really connect the dots at that time, as to how similar they were. Not even similar, just directly copied those games were from Arkham. And when I got older and I sort of sat back and replayed them, I'm just like, this is sad almost. It's like I'm playing Batman.
Yeah. When I was younger, it didn't bug me as much because like I could clearly see that they were just doing the whole Arkham thing, but it didn't
Yeah.
matter to me because I was just having fun. I was like, yeah, I'll play a fucking Spider-Man Arkham game. Yeah, that's great. And then as I got older, like and as some other games came out with the webhead, I was just kind of like it was kind of hard coming back to, because whenever I think about it now, it's just like yeah, sure, it's Arkham Combat, but it just makes me want to play Arkham. So
Right.
yeah, those are definitely due for a revisit at some point. But
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah,
Well, we could talk
yeah,
about them on the channel because they're Arkham games, right?
yeah, yeah. We could talk about them on the channel. Sure.
How Spider-Man was better than Arkham in every way.
Why the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is better than Arkham Knight.
I think yeah. Arkham Knight's bad, but I don't know if it's that bad. Maybe it is.
Who knows?
You'll find out next time on Intensive.
Yeah. Jesus. Speaking of the webhead, do we count the Insomniac games as part of that?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Because originally those were the ones I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, in actuality, they're more so pivoting off of what the Amazing Spider-Man games did.
Which is just Arkham.
Right.
So it's just a copy of a copy of a...
Right. Either way we look at it. And don't get me wrong, I love Insomniac Spider-Man. And like the Amazing games were different because they ripped off all that stuff and didn't fulfill it with the story. Like I quite enjoy the first game, to be honest with you. Maybe it's nostalgia, I don't know. But I enjoy the first game. But it's still not amazing like the title will have you believe.
Yeah.
And 2 is just abysmal. Just stop. Don't even. Why are you doing that to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And I love Insomniac's games. They're great. I think 2018 is one of my favorite games ever. But man, down to the freaking YB combo moves, and the special moves, and combat itself. With the counter system is B now, but whatever. Lightning bolts.
Well, the thing about Insomniac, though, it's not really so much of a counter. It's more so like you're just dodging out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're right.
For me, the Insomniac games, like they sort of fit in that category, but I feel like they do just enough to kind of, make it its own thing.
Yeah. They definitely made you feel like more like Spider-Man. You don't feel like you're in an Arkham game.
Yeah, when I play the Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's just like, I feel so much like Batman.
Yeah.
But then I play Insomniac Spider-Man, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I feel like Spider-Man here.
Right. And that's where we draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. If I feel like Batman in a Spider-Man game, not in a Batman game,
you failed. That's just that's the easy answer. It's just like you failed at your job.
Yep. Sorry, Debs, but you didn't do your job. You bastards.
But yeah, with Spider-Man, there's just enough to where, like from the dodge mechanic, and I think stealth is essentially Arkham. Like it's more so apparent with stealth, I feel, than it is combat. But
yeah,
you can I can't talk. You can basically make a case for both of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, still great games.
Yeah, those are most of the ones that we've listed off are really great games. And I've never played Mad Max, but it looks good.
Yeah, never played Mad Max, never played Middle Earth, Ghost of Tsushima, Sleeping Dogs. So
goated.
A lot of these I haven't touched for myself. So
Sleeping Dogs is better than Grand Theft Auto. Don't at me. It is better.
Honestly, I'd rather play Saints Row over Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I can get behind that. You heard it here, folks. Saints Row and Sleeping Dogs better than GTA.
Fuck, Alter's gonna be so pissed when this video comes out.
don't care. He's a rapper.
Stupid
But yeah.
SoundCloud.
That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, those are just like the main ones that kind of stick out. I'm sure there's more of them that we're forgetting about or just that we never played, but
Yeah.
it's interesting looking back at that time, just seeing what the gaming media thought was going to be like the next big catch. Like, remember when they thought that mobile games were going to take over?
I
And
know.
consoles
And
were
then
going to be
look what
obsolete
happened.
and stuff. It's
Yeah,
like,
and then look
well,
what happened.
no,
Consoles are here going strong, ladies and gents.
they still are, and they will continue to be.
Yep. Mobile games. Give me a
I
break.
know. I know.
I can barely run my freaking text app on my phone, let alone a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a break. But yeah, it's interesting to look at too how one game completely changed everything at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, the GOAT, Arkham Asylum, we know, we talk about it all the time, but yeah, it revolutionized the way video games were made, and it basically set a new standard for what a video game should be, especially an action adventure game.
Mhm.
So yeah, super influential, and there's probably more games than we even realize where people have taken inspiration from Arkham, whether it's directly or indirectly.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's my side of the story.
Good. And we're going to call that a wrap.
Yeah. Wrap it up.
To wrap it up, get it done. Is there anything you want to plug, Mr. Swifty Pants?
Intensive Treatment is a podcast where we talk about all things Arkham. And you can watch it right here. If you're hearing this message, you're watching it now. And you can check out our latest ITTVs. You can check out our latest podcast episodes. You can check out our live streams, which are a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And you can check out our Instagram, our Intensive Treatment Instagram. And then you can check out separately our separate Instagrams and Twitters under our respective pseudonyms, Swifty and Marvel DC Fan.
Yes.
That is all I have to plug. What would you like to plug, sir? You have much more going on than me.
So I hit 250 subs recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great milestone. All that. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Great.
I just had a Brave and the Bold video come out recently with Batman Ultra 7, aka AJ. That was fun, sort of. I'm doing a milestone review, which I'm working on right now. Like, I literally just recorded the first hour or so earlier today. So that should be up here soon. On the LP channel, we're going to be starting our next 2 LPs simultaneously. And also, I'm guessing this should be out by the time this video comes out. I did a one-off on the notorious Superman 64. Go check that video out. So yeah, there's definitely a lot going on my end. So
Well, you better than me. I'll say that.
yeah, you got nothing.
What the hell am I doing with my life?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
But here we are, and we're gonna call it wraps here, like he said 2 minutes ago. That's a wrap. We hope you all enjoyed this. If there's any games that you know of that are super influenced by Arkham or direct ripoffs, what have you, definitely shout it out in the comments below. Tell us what we missed. Check out our other videos, ITTV, live streams, all that good stuff, and follow us on the socials. And we will see you all in the next one. Stay locked up and peace out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Goodbye.